Hey, it's Lake. I'm gonna go digging today, and I'm at the truck and getting ready to head out. One thing I wanted to show you was this. Of course, you're going. That's a selfie stick. What I use is an SJ Cam 5000 Plus Wi-Fi with the Amberella chipset. I decided to use this instead of a GoPro, well, because of price differences drastic. And it came with all the bells and whistles, and I like the Amberella chipset. I think it mimics the GoPro fairly well. It has the warmer tone instead of the cooler tone. If you get an SJ Cam 5000 without the Amberella chipset, it tends to be cooler. It picks up more on the blues. This is more yellow red, kind of a bright. But you're going, okay, selfie stick until we get to here. And what this is actually a long bolt, that shoulder bolt that has some threads here, and it goes into where like you would take and put your tripod on. Well, what I did was the threads didn't quite match up, but I'm not going to use it for anything else, so I just went ahead and horsed it on there. Beforehand, I put on a nut so that I can go ahead and grab it with a pair of pliers and back it back out if I want to, if it gets stuck. So a lot of times whenever you hear me repositioning the camera, you hear this crunchy noise, and that's me sticking this spike in the ground. That's what I'm using as a tripod, and I can stick it in an angle, or cool things like that. So anyway, quick gear head thing, and you can't take that off, and you may need a wrench. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get hunting. I'm going to go to a place that I think may have been an old mill, due to the area was near a pond. It also has a pasture nearby, which would have been cotton field, tomato field, just pasture for grazing. It may have, the little building that was there may or may not have been a mill. That may just be a stock pond for watering the animals. But anyway, I'm off to find out exactly what that's all about. I don't expect to find anything great. I expect to find a lot of iron, a lot of stuff like that. But I'm really here to solve a mystery. I'm not really here to add to my collection as far as silver and gold. So let's go check it out. Okay, on my way into my hunting spot, I found this. Now, this sort of thing is not a common sight in East Texas. What we have here is an iron ore rock kind of formation, and it's developed a waterfall. Those are iron ore rocks down there. I don't know if those were placed that way or it's just how it worked out. But this whole, I don't know what you call it, pool down here, I'm going to wait till summer and maybe it dries up a bit. Bring my AT Pro down here and see if there's anything interesting down and out in that. That would be pretty cool. People obviously hike in and go to the top. There's some trails that aren't paved, and people have made it so they can come over here and kind of get on top of the waterfall. That's pretty groovy. I had no idea this was here. Okay, I'm gonna head on. This is the area I wanted to hunt. Over there in the corner would have been where that building was on the map. Excuse me, I get a dry throat really. There's a pasture and whatnot. Comes all the way in, goes up there past those trees, and kind of comes into a corner up there too. But if you take a look around here, I got some tall grass, and which means snakes, and it means chiggers, and chiggers like me. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to hit this. I was hoping they bulldoze this, or not bulldoze, brush hog this area, but evidently they just let it go. There's a lot of wildflowers that grow out here, so why cut them down? They don't have any amenities in this part of the park anyway, so why mess with it, I guess. I may just kind of swing around in some of the tire tracks that I see that the truck's made, I guess, to go in there. Might be a utility, something back off in there. But ground's pretty hard. You saw all those clay and rocks over by the waterfall, so it's really heavy with iron ore, and iron clay really plays havoc with my VX3. So we'll give it a shot though, but I have a feeling I'm going to go over some already traversed territory. I don't know how well you can see, but this pond, I believe, is spring fed. There's a spring itself. I've not seen a spring this big in this area. The only reason I believe so is generally the water around here, it's just all of it's muddy if it's standing. And I'm looking down into the water and I see 2 foot down. You may not be able to see because of the glare on the camera, but I can see some of these cooler water type seaweed, moss things that usually I don't see growing in our warmer weathered runoff rivers and creeks. That and the clarity, even though it does look muddy, leads me to believe this is spring fed. And over there was where that small building was. This thing has some very steep banks around it. I don't think I can get around it to metal detect, not without getting into some water moccasins and stuff, which I'm not even going to try. So that's pretty interesting. Tells me a little bit more about this farm, which was about anywhere from 80 to 120 acres once upon a time. Too bad people threw their trash in here. That sucks. Neat. Okay, so I came around the pond and there was an open field, and there's some patches of trees that look like there might have been buildings, or either little hay shacks, things like that at once upon a time. And I've been digging nails. But here we have a UMC, I believe it's on the head stamp. It's a 30-06. I'm sorry, I can't get that close in. No, it's, yeah, Remington UMC 30-06 Spring, 30-06 Springfield. But it's a decent piece of brass. You could even clean it up and reload it. Okay, first non-ferrous item of the day. Okay, second shell. This one is a Remington UMC 3855. I can't remember if that was called the Wayland or what, but it's broken. I thought there was a 35 Wayland, wasn't it? 3855 Remington. I don't reload that one, so that's an obscure one to me. Alright, well, more trash, but non-ferrous. Yay. Alright, old beer can. And I can't find a actual, it's probably bent under and stuff like that, but it's got, looks like some stylized pine trees sitting in there. And I brushed it off and it says, refreshing as the land of sky blue waters. Now I remember when I was a kid that there used to be a commercial for Ham's beer, and it had like the bear, with a stripe on it, or it looked like an overgrown skunk or something. I remember, it's been a long time, but it says land of the sky blue waters, if I remember right. So I think this is an old Ham's beer can, probably, I don't know if this is a pull top kind or the one you had to go ahead and use that's the triangle end of the, how you open up evaporated milk, or this could be the pull tab type. It's I wish this thing was all together. That'd be pretty cool. If you ever had Ham's beer, I don't know about refreshing as if that's their idea of sky blue waters. I think it's more of the land of the yellow stream running beneath the horse. Anyway, that's my opinion. Quick follow-up in Lake's Kitchen. There was a couple things that I did not show on video digging up. Part one is this thing's busted. This is obviously off what I would think is obviously off a Nichols cap gun, because they made these things where in the same town that I was digging. So you'll know where I was digging if you look up Nichols cap guns. Nichols cap guns, if you got one in good shape, can be worth, from what I understand, in the thousands depending on what model you have. They made them very well. They were not junk cap guns, okay? Plus, if any kid didn't have a Nichols in Jacksonville, they'd probably get laughed out of town. It was also probably a slap in the face to have anything but a Nichols in Jacksonville. Wow! Next, look at this whistle. This thing is brass and it's coated. Look at the bail on this thing. Notice it says police special. This is not your 99-cent whistle from Walmart. This is something made for professionals, you know, the police department. This is heavy-duty stuff, and it obviously got ran over by the riding lawnmower that's out there cutting, or the bush hog, and it went ahead and busted the seams apart. This is made out of brass. It's not pot metal, and it's coated with either it's a chrome coating, I'm sure. But I'd like to go ahead and straighten this out, maybe solder it back together and throw it in my little shadow box or something like that, because that's pretty cool. They just don't make things like they used to, that sort of thing. Plus, I'm not seeing any Taiwan or China or anything, so got a good feeling that's an American-made whistle from back in the day. Anyway, I was, like I said, I was really kind of tired and did not do footage of digging these things up. And that's going to wrap my video up. You saw everything else I found. The rest of the time I spent pretty much doing survey. A lot of baling wire, a lot of stuff. There's some places I do want to get, but it's going to have to be in the winter because there's poison ivy in the corrals that were off in the woods. It's been grown up. There was also a field that had red clover. I mean, it was all red clover up to your knees. So winter comes, things are died down. No bad chiggers, no bad bugs, no bad plants that make me itch for what feels like years. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this town aside for, you know, well, till at least November. I'll find someplace different to show you to dig. But anyway, happy hunting, and have a good one.